may be seated. Well, welcome to this first Sunday of November. Over this year, we've been looking at the 12 powers that co-founder Charles Fillmore outlined in his book, The 12 Powers of Man. In the month of November, he calls renunciation. Renunciation is a word that doesn't quite resonate with me, so I use the word release or elimination. But it's still the power of letting go. And so today's talk is letting go, a path to freedom. And so I turn. This faculty of release or renunciation is the power to discard, let go, remove, liberate, dismiss, eliminate. The disciple associated with this is Thaddeus. The location in the body is the abdominal region, and the color is russet. So one thing we can look at, actually the first Sunday of every month I've said the power of that month is the most important power. But there's no change because this power, our ability to release and let go, is foundational. Imagine if in your life you never let go of any thought or any possession or anything or anything in your life. We'd be surrounded by styrofoam and newspapers and a whole bunch of thoughts. I think we can observe that letting go is something we actively do in our lives already. But do you know that letting go is truly your path to freedom? I turn to the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh. He's written some really beautiful books about meditation and finding that peace within. He says, letting go gives us freedom. And freedom is the only condition for happiness. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Pretty darn important and powerful. And who wants to be free? We're a nation that claims that we are about having freedom. But freedom has responsibility. For when you're truly free, you're not attached to anything. You're free to choose and live your life just as you choose. So I turn to the compassionate Buddha because this wisdom is across the board in any tradition. And here he says, you can only lose what you cling to. I love it. This reminds me of a book that Owen's sister gave him years ago because she recognized that Owen had the same condition she had, which was like a desk that was more, you couldn't tell what the desk was made. So she gave him a book called Clutter's Last Stand by Don Aslett. And this book is a powerful tool of wisdom because in it, he outlays how everything in our lives, absolutely everything that's in our lives, takes our life energy, uses our life energy. Those things that we just can't let go of take our energy. The things we love and adore take energy. We have to dust it, we have to polish it, we have to store it, we have to hold it, we have to remember. I remember. Oh, I remember. And all those things take our life energy. And so we can free our lives because you can only lose what you cling to. Which reminds me of this tale. This is how. Now, in India, wise people, If you need or want a monkey, there's a very simple way to catch the monkey. What you do is you fix a jar someplace and you put a simple piece of fruit in it. This is an apple. It's a gala apple. Doesn't matter. Might not even be the kind of apple monkey likes. But you put the fruit into the jar. Monkey comes along and goes, I want it. And the trees could be covered in mangoes and papaya and bananas and kumquats and who knows what. And the monkey will reach into the jar, grab the piece of fruit, but can't get his hand out. And guess what? Catch the monkey. How little we've evolved. Because if I let go of that resentment, I'd be free. As long as I hold on to my parents did me wrong, or you did it, or I'm not going to say I'm sorry, it's their fault, or it could be the stamp collection that my grandparents tirelessly collected over years and years and years of boxes and boxes and boxes. If I just let go, I'd be free. Simple. You can always catch a monkey. Simple technique. How often are we caught by those things that we're not quite ready to let go of? I turned to Eckhart Tolle, a wonderful wise man. He's written some wonderful books, and he says here, sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. So it takes energy, it takes courage to let go of stuff. Now, everything that's happened in our lives is in the past. It's past. Simply explained, it's over. Except what we're still holding on to. And as long as we hold on to it, we drag it along with us. And sometimes we're dragging along balls and chains and suitcases and all kinds of stuff filled with thoughts and resentments and anxiety. We could actually just let go of it. Recognize it for what it is. It's an experience. But it's past. And when we do that, we stop defending and hanging on. We find ourselves more in the present moment. Less attached to all those things in the past or the glorious things we're fixated on in the future. I've got to get there. That's it. That's it. And when I'm living there, I'm missing all of what is now. I say letting go is our path to our freedom. I turn again to wisdom teacher Deepak Chopra, and here he writes, in the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you'll find yourself. Now, about 6 weeks ago, I hurt my back, and it was no problem letting go of the walker. But letting go of being broken, letting go of having everyone else do everything for me, even though I hated it, you get kind of used to being broken. When I researched for this talk, I realized that there's many parts in my life, all I need do is let go and accept what's possible now. I get to find myself, find my sense of being. Now, there's times in my life where I knew I was right about being broken. I wasn't enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't tall enough. I wasn't enough. There's not enough. And then the world reflects back to me how not enough I am. I don't do that anymore. It was a waste of my time because I was trapped. I was living small and I was broken. Well, on Friday I got an epidural in my back. I have no pain at all. I am able to walk and stand, and soon I'll be able to dance. I'm not pushing it too far, too fast. You know, that hula, it requires a little hip action. So, when we let go of the pain, even while we're experiencing pain, and we open ourselves to, wow, it's a really good day. There's good people in my life. I have something worthy to do today. I need to clean the cat box. It's a good job. Especially when you don't have a cat. Anyway, let's get back to the talk. Ooh, I love Linda Martella Woods, and she's a dear friend of mine. She's a Unity minister. She used to be the senior minister at Unity of San Antonio. Now she works at Unity Village at Silent Unity, and she wrote this wonderful book called Divine Audacity. It's her version of using these 12 powers. Of course, this month is the power of release, of elimination, of renunciation. And here she writes this: life flows naturally. Always, life is streaming. Bodies of water flow through inlets and outlets. A body of water stopped either at its inlet or outlet stagnates. It stinks. It dies. Damning the mind with unforgiveness, self-criticism, or non-constructive beliefs produces stinking thinking. We're primarily made of water. If our thoughts are all blocked with resentment and anger and shame and guilt, we're not in the flow of life. And all we need to do is forgive, to let go, to say, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It opens a little space of serenity, a little space of peace, a little space of being here now. And all it needs is to allow an inlet and to be in the flow of life and release things. Things come and they go. They come and they go. And from this space, this is where we experience life. Right here, right now, this is our life. This is actually the first moment for the very rest of your life, right now. And it's in the now moment that we experience God, that we're open to divine grace. Because God doesn't live in the past. There's nothing in the past. The past is gone forever. God doesn't live in the future. The future never gets here. Have you ever noticed the future never gets here? There's only now. And if we're holding anything, carrying along, if we're stuck in the jar, holding on to something, clinging to something, all we need to do is let go. And we can feel the flow of tears. We can feel the flow of love. We can feel the flow of life. Because every moment is not going to be just joyful, but every moment's going to be full of life with the gamut of emotion and being. And that's freedom. Free to be whatever we are. I turned to a behavior scientist, a life coach and author, Steve Maraboli. He says, the truth is, unless you let go, unless you forgive yourself, unless you forgive the situation, unless you realize that the situation is over, you cannot move forward. You cannot progress. Our great master teacher, Jesus, said we have to forgive 70 times 7. That's just to take the edge off. That's just today. Because tomorrow we're going to have to forgive again. Forgive ourselves, forgive others, forgive our parents. I mean, it's really time to let our parents go. They did the best with what they had. And if we just let go, they can just be our parents. We need not carry any resentment because it keeps us from moving forward. It's so valuable, our ability to simply let go. Right now, just let it go. Everyone, take a deep breath. Hold it. Hold it. We'll see how long it takes before you practice letting go. It's that easy to just let it go. Inlet and outlet. Inlet and outlet. It's part of our practice of being here now. And I close this talk by turning to a very powerful unity minister. She's written many books on prosperity, a wise woman. She says, elimination of something in your life is always an indication that something better is on the way. And the grace of that is we don't even have to know what's going to come to us. Because sometimes we've got to let go of it to create the space for something new to come into our lives. The universe always provides, and God is always present. Now. Right now. So this is a wonderful opportunity to take this into meditation. So let's settle in and we'll allow the unity singers to bring us to this spot right now.
Go within to the one inside. Go within, let it be your guide. Go within, touch the truth. Go within, know it's you. within to the place that's still. Go within. Let that be your will. Go within to the one inside. Go within. Let it be your guide.
Let go. Let God. As we turn within and breathe into our center, we identify with that divine identity, our own divine nature. It's here we commune with the grace of God. Safe and serene, we open the doorway to our heart to listen, to be one. To allow freedom to be our present moment. So let's turn within, open the doorway to that still small voice within, and be present right here, right now, in the silence. Yes. Yes, whenever we take this moment to be fully present now in the silence, we open ourselves to grace. And sometimes we're given clear direction. Sometimes we're given serene peace, a joy no matter what is going on in our lives. Let's take whatever we've been given and be grateful. As we now take a moment to come back into the presence of this room, we might wiggle our fingers or our toes, roll our shoulders, or roll our head, whatever we want to do to then come fully present with our eyes open as we say this affirmation for today's message. Together, I let go, I let God, and I am free. And so it is. What a blessing.
Step out on the water. on the water.